Miss Moneyworks here. So today I want to talk about my favorite subject, how to be your own boss. You couldn't wait to get out of high school. Why? Right? You're like, I'm a senior, right? I can't wait to be 18, right? Because you wanted to be the boss of you. Then you got into the real world and realized that your parents were replaced with your boss, your manager, your supervisor. So I want to encourage you today to make the transition from E to E. Make the transition from employee to entrepreneur. So have you ever wanted to take control of your time? What would you do if you had control of your time? No one telling you where to be and when to be there. Can you imagine what you could do with your life? Like maybe you would travel more, maybe you would volunteer. So you might be thinking, well, how would I do all that if I didn't have a job? Well, that's because you need to transition from employee to entrepreneur. So entrepreneur, you are your own boss, you work for yourself, and that can be very scary because let me tell you, I always thought that I needed to have a boss, that I needed a salary, that I needed to be paid by the hour. I used to look at my mother, who's an entrepreneur in the hair industry, like, how can she give us this great life based on who is her client? You know, how, in other words, how can she pay our bills based on commission? But once I got my college degree and I was in my journalism career and I was check to check and I realized that there would be no pension in my future, no Social Security. Most people work all their life check to check, and when they stop working, they're poor. I was like, wow, I should be an entrepreneur like my mom, so that because I'm a hard worker, I can make whatever money my effort dictates, because my mother taught me work ethic. So if you're a hard worker and you want to be paid what you're worth, which is exponential, then you definitely want to make the transition from employee to entrepreneur. So what you want to do is add a side gig. So if, more than likely you're an expert at something. So be good, hone your craft, and also use your expertise to solve a problem. Because when you're able to solve problems for others, that's a great income opportunity for you. So what I look at myself as, I'm a great problem solver. The biggest problem that we have in this world, in my opinion, is finances. Finances, money is even in the Bible like over 2,000 times. So financial illiteracy is the #1 economic crisis in the world. So I solved that problem by teaching how money works. And actually, financial services is the #1 industry in the world, which is what I'm in. So if you would like to start a career in the financial services industry in your spare time or your part-time, get with me. I'll never forget when my oldest son, he's 28 now, he used to come to me with the problems of his friends' parents. And I was like, tell so-and-so to tell his dad to, talk to me because, it's going to change their life. And then he'd tell me his other friends' parents' problem. I'd be like, yeah, tell so-and-so to tell his mom that, need to talk to me and get into my industry. And he'd be like, oh, Mom, you think that's the solution to everyone's financial problem? And I'm like, well, it solved our financial problems because we were check to check. I'll never forget, I was reporting on a front page story and for the newspaper, and it ended up being an award-winning story. So before I crossed the street to interview the people, my car finance company was calling me to threaten to repossess my car. So we were struggling. My son would tell you we was po, but now we ain't no more. And it's all because I made the transition from employee to entrepreneur. So when he was in college, he realized all the money I was making, and he's like, why am I in college if you're making this kind of money? So he went from college student to entrepreneur. So now a decade later, my son is a six-figure earner, and he's been a six-figure earner since a month before his 21st birthday. He's a philanthropist, he's a tither, he's a saver, he's an investor, and it's all because I made the transition successfully from employee to entrepreneur. And I highly recommend that you read our book, How Money Works. Let me know if you want a copy of the book because it talks about cash flow. So you definitely want to read our book to learn about cash flow. And we also have a program called E to E, Employee to Entrepreneur, and we have that book coming out very soon. We also teach a class on it because transitioning from employee to entrepreneur is a mindset. So you have to be able to shift your mind from employee to entrepreneur. That is what you were intended to be, is your own boss. So wake up that inner child from your senior year in high school when you couldn't wait. You were a senior. You're about to be 18 so that you can be boss of you, so that you can control your whole life. So if you like my video, make sure to like my video and share with your family and friends so they also can get the mindset of transitioning from an employee to an entrepreneur. And also follow me so that you always can know when I have a new video. And I would love to hear from you to help you make that transition that I did 9 years ago. I have not had a boss in almost 10 years now. No one close to me has a boss. And that's why we're able to take a vacation whenever we want, which is usually once a month. So anyway, I look forward to hearing from you.